This is my video response for week 11. Um, we've been given the topic of emotional appeal when it comes to public speaking and persuasion, and we've been given some questions here to answer. The first one is it ethical for public speakers to use emotional appeal when seeking to persuade an audience? I would have to say that it is ethical for public speakers to use emotional appeal whenever we're trying to persuade someone. That's the whole point of a persuasive speech or an essay. Um, Using emotional appeal, that could like relate to the audience in one way or another, maybe in a way that they haven't really maybe it would cause them to think about themselves or any of their family members in a situation that they wouldn't normally be put in. I think if they it gives them a certain emotional appeal can give the audience a different course of perspective, and that may sway their mind one way or the other. So I do think it is ethical. Question number two is: do you feel there are certain kinds of emotions to which an ethical speaker should not appeal? Why or why not? I think that I believe it's okay to use any kind of emotion when it comes to, or use any kind of emotional appeal when it comes to persuasion. Like the first question, kind of to do with the first question, I don't think, the persuasive speech that the speaker is presenting could sway the audience one way or another. It could. I think it just listening to a persuasive speech does nothing but good as far as perspective goes, and I don't think any limitations should be put on that. Question three. Provide mainstream examples of ethical emotional appeals and unethical emotional appeals. The first thing that comes to mind when I hear the word ethical emotional appeal is like on TV you see like clothing ads or anything of the sort that promotes like the popularity of a product. It's, suggesting that if you use this product you are popular. That's a example of an ethical emotional appeal. An example of unethical emotional appeal. When I read that, the first thing that comes to mind is the election that's going on. There are lots of false accusations thrown back and forth when it comes to the the presidential candidate speeches. And they do that in order to sway their audience one way or the other. And I think the false accusations are unethical in that sense.